All right, here we go again. Change shirts. All right, so this probably be the last one I get out today. But amazing, amazing revelation here. This is beautiful. He's letting us know. He's letting us all know. And this is really good. So and they all seem to run perfectly together in order, one event after the other. So here we go. He wants everybody to know this. This is what he's given me. This is Holy Spirit's revealing his word right now. This is amazing. So this is Matthew 7, verse 21. I'll read it the way we'll see it in most of our Bibles, and then take every word back to its origin using the Strongs and the lexicons led by his Holy Spirit. I forget to say that, but I mean, it's the truth, believe it or not. I mean, it's the way it is. I know I'm just a normal dude, but I have full trust, faith, confidence in him. And I'm born again in the Spirit. I know it because I hear his voice, and I see things that people around me won't even see. Demons reveal themselves when I'm in the presence and stuff. I see that stuff all the time. And thank God, I had to mature, that's for sure, before I could, otherwise I'd be completely freaking out. But anyways, here we go. This is Matthew 7, verse 21. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. They did a good job on this one. They did pretty good. Did a pretty good job. The translators. Look, the Bible was translated by men into our language, and a lot was lost in translation. A lot of the details that men couldn't understand at the time. I don't think it was deliberate, but the original writings from the apostles and prophets, everything, I'm sure were perfect and had all this information in there. But it's been concealed by the Elohim, who conceal a thing. Christ came to reveal, not conceal, to reveal the truth. All right, so let's take that verse back and get the details that the translators couldn't quite understand. So this is Matthew 7, verse 21. Now this is beautiful right here from the get. Unworthy men cannot get an answer by direct questioning, lacking wisdom in what God forbid, certainly not from one who exists of the external form, of numerous persons affected by the powerful emotions of the natural mind. There we go. Some spiritual revelation right there. Of the natural mind that is predicated, meaning based on. So what they're basing this on, the outward appearance of the external form, of ranking, of their rank, belonging to persons of authority and power, by your PhDs, by your position in society, all these things. If you're a ruler or a leader of people or countries or whatever, okay, you can't get this by your rank, belonging to a person's authority and power, being esteemed more highly for the importance of things which overstep the province of a created being, proud, presumptuous things, full of arrogance, derogatory to the majesty of God, with evil purposes to rule over men, or to do things for your own benefit, put down others, rip off people to gain their, just evil men. They are elites, politicians, rulers, each and everyone, whosoever is called by name to speak out and lay forth an answer, to make known the light of the knowledge, has the power of understanding spiritual truth of myself, of Christ himself, who is supreme in authority and has control. Now here we go. This is how much in control he is. Who has control of the person. He has control of every single person. Completely. Okay? And he decides to whom a person or a thing belongs. Do you belong to him or do you belong to Satan? He decides to whom a person or thing belongs. To go out or come into. To enter men, as into a house or a city, or of Satan that takes possession of the body of a person. God's the one that decides all this. Okay? Of things as food that enters into the eater's mouth, even our food, give thanks, everything, and also that could mean his word and the knowledge that comes into you, feeding the sheep, right? Like we're called to do. So the food that enters into the eater's mouth, or the entrance into any condition, state of things, the state of things, or a society. He controls all the state of everything, or a society, or employment, our employment, whatever that be, employed by him, or our own jobs and places in society. So he decides all that. To arise and come into existence, begin to be of men that come before the public, to come into life of thoughts, even our own thoughts, that come into the mind for a purpose. See, we hear his voice. The thoughts that come into our mind for a purpose of a far more exceeding intent of one mind, the mind of Christ, to be set at one again with him. This is all done by him. He decides if he's going to come into you. He decides that by, and it's your own free will, like he calls us all and he wants to, but he's the one who makes that decision. He's the judge. Okay? So to be set at one again of persons that come into being, to show influence in public, to grow in the light, therefore never to perish in the Messiah's kingdom, the foundation of power, to walk with the sovereign prince of order and things eternal, consummately perfect, where God dwells and other heavenly beings. In happiness, he's talking about being there with him, walking with him in heaven, okay? The Messianic kingdom, where other heavenly beings that are in happiness and power for eternity by the gospel of a mountain that lifts itself above the plain, taking up stones to bear away what has been raised and appropriate what has been taken, because we were deceived and taken here, led astray by Satan, by a lie, and made to doubt. And he's done this to expiate sin, to support and have us to be able to endure. And he forgives us by being lifted up myself, he said, of himself, because he was lifted up himself on the cross to obtain a yield as a bird that is rising in the air by forming a transition to the cardinal, most important matter that is different to make us ready, so that at the same time, all at the same time, to institute the celebration of the Passover, and that is the liberation of the Israelites, and that's also a meal of celebration. All right, so this is the liberation of the Israelites, because we're all Gentiles when we're born into this world, but when we're born again in the Spirit, we become a true Israelite. So it's the liberation of the Israelites from the land of slavery, Egypt, from the land of slavery, to perform a promise, having purged the transgression of the law by what he did on the cross, to collect what is due by his payment, determined by the purpose of God to bless mankind through Christ, resolved to love, willingly to be his own, animated by the same Spirit as himself, as the one who stands in the Father's place and looks after another in a paternal way, as a title of honor. And he is the guardian and protector of spiritual beings and all men who through Christ have been exalted to a specifically close and intimate relationship with God, and no longer dread him as a stern judge of sinners, but revere him as their reconciled and loving Father by Jesus Christ himself, while within place and time at a point that is reached to be taken out from above by a reason of completion, to be gathered together where God dwells and other heavenly beings. So, did we get some more detail? We get more detail out of that verse? Matthew 7:21. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom, but he that doeth the will of my Father, which is in heaven. Okay. They came pretty close, but there's the detail. They can't understand. Men refuse to believe what they are, what their bodies are. I have said, you are all Elohim. You are all children of the Most High God, but you have fallen like one of the princes, and you will die like a man. It doesn't get any more simple than that. And the word for image in Genesis 1:26 means a phantom, an illusion, a shadowy figure, a figure that casts a shadow. Especially an idol, a vain show. And the word for God in Genesis 1:26 is Elohim. Look, Satan was allowed to leave and depart with those who rebelled. There was an insurrection. That's why there was a resurrection. Okay, he rebelled. And he wanted to be worshipped. God said, not in my kingdom, boop, he kicked them out. And he had them create all this. God is in charge. He created everything that exists, even Satan, even the fallen ones. He says, you want to be worshipped? Here you go. You have your own kingdom for a while. So they're the original life forms that were here. They lost their angelic form, and they were birthed, transformed into this world, however it was done, creation and all that. So anyways, and then he led all of the other angels, the Elohim, the heavenly luminaries, the stars of heaven. He led them astray, pulled them down. You want to become like God? Come into my kingdom. I'll give you a body. I'll give you a fleshly body so you can become like God. And we could see Christ in a glorified body. Okay, we could see him. We were with him. Okay, he said, you will know good and evil, and you'll become like the Most High God, and you will not die, surely. But it was a lie. As soon as we turned our face from our Father and listened to the very first liar, we were led astray and birthed into this world, into a condition of death and separation from God by being separated from him, by disobeying, breaking the first commandment. Came into an idol, we desired it, we lusted after it, we committed murder by Christ being put to death, and by killing ourselves, basically, by the separation from the source of all life, God himself, the tree of life, right? And we have to be reconciled back to our Father through the gift of his Holy Spirit. And that is only given by Christ himself, who is the supreme judge. He controls everything. He decides who belongs to who he comes into, who he goes out of, decides your job, decides everything. He's in complete control. What you eat, he laid it out right there. I mean, everything. And you can't gain this knowledge by your position, by your education, and everything that's here in the external form. You'll never understand it. You have to be born again of the Spirit to awaken and come into life. Gift of his Holy Spirit, by breaking the seal of the wall of division in your heart and in your mind of what men think is truth in this world. You're lost. Most people are lost completely. Sad. Okay, he's about to take us home. We're going home. He's talking about walking with him in heaven. He's about to take us home. All right, it's beautiful. There's another verse he gave me, but I probably won't be able to get it out. All right, maybe tomorrow morning. All right, 3 today. Suck this in, suck this down, because it's time to go. It's time to go. It's about to happen. And if you watch alternative news, you see everything that's occurring, everything, the stage is being set. It's already set. The stage is already set. We're going to be caught up out of here any minute. God, it's a beautiful thing. Right on. All right. God bless you. Have a great day. Bye.